Taiwan was once a small island plagued by war and political uncertainty, limited natural resources, scarce land, and constant security threats. But today, this same Taiwan is counted among the world's most important technology economies. What happened that this struggling island a few decades ago has become a global powerhouse of semiconductors and high-tech industry today? How did a small country make the world's largest companies and economies dependent on its own chips? So let's start this fast-paced, modern, and inspiring journey of Taiwan and know how Taiwan built the semiconductor empire. Chapter 1. The Challenges and Economic Transformation of the Successor State. Taiwan began with very difficult conditions after World War II and the Chinese Civil War. After the defeat in 1949, the Chinese national government came to Taiwan and started working on strengthening the economy there. Initially, the country was mainly dependent on agriculture, so the government adopted policies to promote domestic industries that could produce goods within the country. The textile, plastic, and light industries rapidly increased exports abroad, which led to foreign exchange coming into the country and strengthening the economy. By the late 1960s, the government began to develop large industries such as petrochemical, machinery, and steel industries. Chapter 2. Foundations of the Tech Industry, Establishing ITRI. The second major step in Taiwan's technology journey began in the 1970s. Taiwan faced many challenges at the time, such as the exit from the United Nations in 1971 and the oil crisis of 1973. These events made the government understand that it is necessary to pay attention to high-tech industries to become stronger in the future. For this reason, the Industrial Technology Research Institute was established in 1973, with the aim of researching new technologies and increasing the industrial capacity of the country. This was followed by the creation of the Electronics Research and Service Organization within ITRI in 1974, which started work on semiconductor and chip technology. In 1975, a partnership was formed with the RCA Company of America, where Taiwanese engineers were trained in modern CMOS chip technology. This training later became the strong foundation of Taiwan's semiconductor industry. In 1977, ITRI started the first experimental chip factory on its campus, where local companies and engineers were given the chance to learn by making chips. Chapter 3. First Taiwan Semiconductor Corporation and Spin-off. The impact of ITRI's research in Taiwan soon began to show in the form of new companies. In 1980, the United Microelectronics Corporation was founded, one of Taiwan's first large semiconductor companies. UMC set up a factory for chip manufacturing and gradually adopted the contract manufacturing model. This was followed by more companies in the 1980s, such as Taiwan Mass Corporation and other semiconductor firms. These companies did not just limit themselves to the domestic market, but also started making chips for international companies. This led to Taiwan rapidly gaining a foothold in the world's semiconductor industry. Chapter 4. Hsinchu Science Park, from incubator to chip fabrication hub. Hsinchu Science Park played a huge role in Taiwan's technology development. This science park was established in 1980 on the initiative of Prime Minister Sun Yat-sen. Initially, it was aimed at boosting the computer and electronics industry, so companies were given facilities like tax exemptions and cheap land so that they could easily set up factories. Gradually, the park transformed into one of the world's largest semiconductor and chip manufacturing hubs. Here, a network of tech companies, research institutes, and engineering universities was formed that made Taiwan's tech industry move rapidly. Nearby universities, such as National Tsinghua University and National Chiao Tung University, produced thousands of engineers who would later become the chip industry's strength. From this science park emerged big companies like TSMC, United Microelectronics Corporation, and MediaTek, which made Taiwan the center of the world's chip manufacturing. Chapter 5. TSMC's Founding and Foundry Model. The biggest turning point in Taiwan's technology story came in 1987 when Maurice Chang founded TSMC. Maurice Chang had previously worked at Texas Instruments and was invited by the Taiwanese government to strengthen the country's semiconductor industry. TSMC was started with government investment, private capital, and collaboration with foreign companies like Philips. The most striking thing about TSMC was that it became the world's first pure-play foundry company. This meant that the company did not design the chip itself, but made chips based on the designs of other companies. This allowed companies like Apple, Nvidia, and Qualcomm to make modern chips without setting up their own factories. This model proved to be very successful, as tech companies from all over the world began to submit their designs to TSMC. In 1993, the company was listed on the Taiwan Stock Exchange and in 1997 became the first Taiwanese company to be listed on the New York Stock Exchange. Chapter 6. The Rise of Private Entrepreneurs. Taiwan's semiconductor industry was propelled forward not by just one or two large companies, but by many private entrepreneurs together. For example, the ASE Group started in 1984, making its way into the world's largest companies in chip packaging and testing. Similarly, companies like MediaTek went on to succeed globally in designing chips for mobile and electronic devices. In addition, companies like Foxconn built on a large scale of electronic goods and strengthened global supply chains. All these entrepreneurs worked closely with the government, but at the same time maintained a competitive environment, allowing new technology and innovation to move rapidly. Chapter 7. Global Supply Chain and Foundry Dominance. As of 2024, Taiwan's foundry companies were handling over 60% of the global chip manufacturing market. In particular, TSMC has become the main chip manufacturer for the world's big companies such as Apple, Nvidia, Qualcomm, and AMD. The company also manufactures the world's most advanced chip technology such as 7nm, 5nm, and 3nm chips. Taiwan's exports are also largely dependent on semiconductors. In addition, companies like ASE Group and SPIL are world leaders in chip packaging and testing. Although some important machines and software still come from the US and Europe, Taiwan has made its entire supply network very strong. Chapter 8. Export-oriented development and foreign investment. Taiwan's economy has been primarily based on exports. In the 1980s, the government began to allow foreign companies to invest, which led to the rapid development of technology, capital, and new industries in the country. The increase in foreign investment after 1981 gave modern machines and technical knowledge to the local industries. Around 1990, the government implemented a number of reforms to modernize industries and reduce pollution. Gradually, the electronics and semiconductor industries became the strongest sectors in Taiwan's economy. Their exports started earning the country a huge amount of foreign exchange. Chapter 9. Chip Ecosystem, Equipment, Packaging, and Design. Taiwan has created a complete and robust ecosystem of the semiconductor industry, which includes all parts from chip making to design and packaging. Some of the advanced machines needed for chip manufacturing, such as lithography systems, Taiwan still get from outside companies, especially from European companies like ASML. Similarly, American companies such as Cadence Design Systems and Synopsys play an important role in design software, such as EDA tools. ASE handles the bulk of the global assembly and test market and uses technologies such as advanced 2.5D, 3D, and fan-out. Taiwan is also ahead in the field of design. Companies like MediaTek, Realtek, and Novatech are renowned worldwide in designing mobile, IoT, and AI chips. Chapter 10. Geopolitics and US-Chinese tensions. Taiwan has become the most important semiconductor power in the world today, so its position is now not just economic, but also geopolitical. Because of this, Taiwan's chip industry has become the center of major tension between the US and China. On one side is the United States, which wants chip production to increase in its own country as well. In this direction, the CHIPS Act was implemented in 2022, giving huge subsidies to semiconductor companies to set up factories in the US. The effect of this was that large Taiwanese companies started investing in the US. TSMC also expanded into the US and built a new factory in Arizona. Later, it was planned that around 2026, a packaging unit would also be started there, so that chip manufacturing and packaging could be done in the US and the supply chain would be fast and safe. In the future, advanced technologies such as 3D IC and CoWoS are also planned to be brought to the US. China, on the other hand, considers Taiwan to be under its control, further escalating tensions throughout the region. The US considers Taiwan an important partner, so Taiwan tries to maintain a balance between the two countries. Chapter 11. Economic Impact, GDP, Employment, and Exports. The semiconductor industry plays the most important role in Taiwan's economy and has made possible the country's rapid economic growth. The semiconductor industry's total turnover in 2024 exceeded $165 billion, accounting for approximately 21% of the country's total GDP. At the same time, in 2022, chip exports alone generated about $184 billion, which makes up about 25% of the total GDP. This makes it clear that a large part of Taiwan's economy is based on chip exports. This industry also makes a huge contribution in terms of employment. TSMC alone had over 83,000 employees working as of 2024. Apart from this, UMC, ASE Group, and other companies together have given employment to millions of people. Chapter 12. Risks and Future Challenges. Taiwan's semiconductor industry is very strong, but it also carries with it several major risks. The biggest risk is geopolitical tensions, as Taiwan continues to be under pressure due to the escalating tensions between China and the United States. If there is any kind of conflict and chip production is affected, then the chip supply of the whole world can stop. Apart from this, natural disasters and lack of resources are also major challenges. Semiconductor manufacturing requires very clean and sufficient water. The industry faced difficulties due to droughts in 2021 and 2022, so now companies are paying more attention to saving water and recycling. To reduce this risk, Taiwan is now trying to expand its industry to other countries as well. Many companies are investing in the US, Europe, and Japan. If Taiwan continues to strengthen education, research, and international cooperation, it will continue to be the global leader of the chip industry in the years to come. If you enjoyed this enlightening journey, don't forget to like and subscribe to the video.